Hi, welcome. I haven't been on here in a while, guys. So this is I wanted to jump on and do a um quick VR. Figure I can get a few out there in between, time. And so I was like, you know what, this would be a really nice one to do and to upload, and they'll be really nice and neat. A little fun. So yeah, so this is your um pop culture um cherry or not. No, that's the first prompt, but this is like your pop culture deck, so whatever. Anyways, so without further ado, the first one is like a first prompt is like a version, so the deck that pops your pop culture deck cherry. And for me, that deck would have to be, let me reach up here really quick. um this deck, I don't know why I see this deck as a pop culture cherry deck, but or a pop culture deck, not pop culture cherry, but pop culture deck. um But for me, it is. This deck kind of gives me hippie vibes, So um, immediately, this deck came to mind when I thought of pop culture. This gives me like a 70s, 80s type of style deck. And if I wanted to associate this song with this deck with a song, it would definitely be a pop culture song. Probably not the song called not like a version. It probably wouldn't be that song, but it would be a song um of the pop culture. Oh my gosh, I'm really struggling. Pop culture variety. I really like this deck. I've been actually purging, getting rid of a lot of decks lately. I've actually rehomed over 40 of my decks, um, which I'm glad that I did because I have a issue with clutter. Um, and I need to be able to see everything, because if not, then I will not use it or make use of it. So, and that's part of my healing process because of trauma that I grew up with that caused me to hold on to things, collect things, and keep things. And necessarily not a bad thing, but for me, it isn't good for me to hold on to decks or to things per se that I'm not going to make use of. So, with this being a really unique deck, I love the artwork. I love how subtle it is. The colors palette is very nice for me. Sometimes too many colors or too bold of colors can be really overwhelming. This deck does not do that for me. Another um, thing I love is the diversity in this deck. I would say inclusive, but when I say diversity, I mean, pictures that look like myself. And so, but very easy to read with. It doesn't, overwhelm you with symbolism. You know, it's just pretty, simple deck. I would not use it for everyone. Um, then again, I don't read for everyone either. But I wouldn't use it for just anyone. Let me say that. But for the most part, it's a really cool deck. I love the card stock. I love how simple it is. Even the guidebook is unique. I love a good, colorful, interactive guidebook. So, yeah. So that is the pop culture deck, in my opinion, that popped my cherry. Um, the next one is Love to Love Ya Baby. And this is a pop culture deck that you love. So let me get that deck. I should have all my decks out, but that would not be the suitable thing. This is the next deck. This is the deck that I love. This is also the deck that that answers number 4, which is Let's Stay Together. So I'm just gonna group those together. This is a deck that I'm not gonna part with. So yeah. And since I have this deck and it answers 2 and 4, I'll just throw in number 3 there, which is Sorry Not Sorry, which is a pop culture deck that Mr. Mark. I don't have one, only because if I'm not getting any type of quote unquote pleasure from the deck, I rehome it. So basically, I went from over 100 decks to well over under 100. I've gotten rid of a lot of Oracle decks. When I first started my journey, I really had no order or no structure when it came to what I like, what I would read with, what helped along my healing journey. And so I had to learn that. And as I learned that and learn my aesthetic, excuse me, I was able to come to terms with decks that just did not fit anymore. Not that they were necessarily not good decks, because I don't too much really get on that little rant, but they were more so decks that just didn't fit with me, and so I didn't have a problem rehoming those decks. And there, in most decks that I have now, the majority of the decks I have now, more than likely are not going to be rehomed. And so, and I'm more intentional with the decks that I buy now. So if I buy it I have to see a flip through. I have to look at it, and it has to be able to register with me at that time where their deck is going to go, in my space, So, anyways, but yeah, so there are no decks for number 3 that I would have, because I would have been rehomed it. As far as this one, like I said, this deck covers number 2 and number 4, and it's the Zombie Tarot. It's by Paul Kaplan, I believe. His name is on here somewhere. I know it doesn't really say, but this is the guidebook. Beautiful guidebook, guys. It's very simple, but I just love the paper, the coloration of the guidebook. It's different, and I adore that. I like that it appeases my eyes. Like, I wouldn't get bored if I wanted to decide I wanted to sit down and look through this guidebook. Even though, like I said, it's very simple, very short and straight to the point. The color and the style of it would please me to sit down and look in. So, but it is by Paul Kelpin, I believe, or Keplin, I believe. Because I was looking at another deck that he did, which is the Housewives Tarot, which I wanted to get, not because I was going to use it, but because it has the same artwork structure. So, very nice vintage look. Oh, maybe not vintage, but 1960s, 1970s. It reminds me of the movie, if you haven't seen Night of the Living Dead. They have a few versions. This kind of reminds me of the 1960s, but there's also a 1980s, I think 1990s version. I've seen both of them. I like the 1990s, 1980s, 1990s remake better. I don't like part 2 for some reason, but this is the cards, and I really love the cards. Like, I love these cards, guys. I'm not parting with this deck. I'm realizing that I have a thing for zombies, the apocalypse type era. And this deck is just amazing. Will I read with this deck? I may. I don't read for strangers. I don't do live readings. I don't read for people. I don't read for money. I only read for a handful of people, and these are people that I know, people that are connected to me and myself. I don't predict anything. This is for me, everything I do is all about healing and becoming a better you. So yeah, but this deck is just astonishing. Like, I love the feel of this deck. Like, I can literally look at this and it makes me go want to watch that movie, because I'm like, yes. And I mean, I understand some people say, some things don't really predict or they don't really, not predict, but they don't really stay in the realm of the traditional Rider-Waite, which I don't like the traditional Rider-Waite. But that's just me. That's my aesthetic. Everybody's is different. So some people would rather a deck that sticks within those guidelines, and that's totally fine. To each his own. I myself don't really care for it. So, but yeah, this is the deck that I love as far as pop culture decks. This is also the deck I will not part with. So this is like a collectible for me. And I still may get the Housewives Tarot, like I said, because I can look at the pictures and really just put a story together just by looking at the pictures and just, and that's what I love about a nice deck is that I literally can put a story together by reviewing the pictures, the art, the detailed art, the symbolism, so but yeah, this is a really neat deck. Another thing I like about this deck is that the wands, I believe it's the wands, I could be wrong, but one of the suits is known as the hazards, and it could be pentacles. Yeah, could be pentacles. I'm not really sure. Or wands. I'm not really. I would have to look in the guidebook, and I don't feel like doing that. So, have at it. If you know, you know. So yeah, but this is my deck that answers 2 and 3. I mean 2 and 4. And then the next one is, I love this deck. Beautiful deck, guys. The next one is Hit Me Baby One More Time. And that is a deck that you wish had a sequel or a deck that you would buy again to share. So, let me get that deck. TV series deck. So if you already know anything about me, I don't watch a lot of TV, but if I do, I'll binge watch series. So, no, I don't have cable because I don't have the patience to sit and watch or wait for shows. This is a TV series tarot. Not really, didn't get a lot of, nice reviews. When I say nice, I mean people were expecting this deck to resemble the Rider-Waite, and they said it didn't. So a lot of people were very disappointed. I didn't really care. I just wanted it because it mentioned a good bit of shows. And that's why I got it. I didn't really care about anything else. But it's the TV series Tarot, and looks like it's by Los Scarabeo, possibly. That's what it looks like. Looks like it's by him. So I have written down somewhere where what show each card is for. However, I don't have that with me. Like this is for Bewitched. This is probably some law show. I'm not sure. I would have to pull that out, and I don't feel like doing that. This is from Little House on the Prairie. But this is from House. But I like this deck. Like I love how different it is. I love that it brings in different TV shows, old and new. So it goes through like a whole. It doesn't stick with just one time. It goes from way back when to now. Like this is Miami Vice. This is The Walking Dead. And some of them you may recognize. I believe this is CSI. I believe. But I just love that it's different. I love that this is Addams Family. That it this is Dirty Dancing. Oh, I forgot what this is. But I like it. Like I love that it's different. I love that it brought a little bit of realism. When I say that, I mean like stuff you see daily. I'm very drawn to storytelling decks, but I also love the realistic architecture or arts in the deck. Sorry. So, yeah. So this is the, I think this is Walker Texas Ranger. See, I love stuff like that. Like, because you can tell a story. You can pull so much from just this one card, depending on the reading or the situation. And I love that, having that option, you know. So this is the, if I wish they would do a series. Like, I wish they would come out with this more often, but have different shows, you know, like, because there's always different shows coming out, you know. So, but yeah, this is the, put this right here, I guess. Yeah, the TV series Tarot. Will I read with it? Absolutely, eventually. Like I said, I don't read often with my decks. I use my decks to do a lot of introspection with myself, a lot of healing. So yeah. The next one is You Rock My World. So this is cards that blend tarot and pop culture perfectly. I don't really have a deck for that. I don't have a deck that I could think of that I would bring. I looked at all my decks and I'm like, do I even have a deck? And I don't. So I skipped that one. The last one is your bonus. So that one is like showing what you got. Any more pop culture decks you'd like to share. And the last one is the Polk Tarot by Todd Alcott. And so I like this one because it is different. You know, I saw it, and actually I saw it on Robin's channel, but I saw it before that when I was looking for the Polk Girls Tarot, and this would pop up because, you know, they're similar. And so I just enjoy, like, I enjoy that it's different covers of the magazine. And I love how unique and different that is. You know, like, it might not, some people might say, oh, well, that's not much, but I like it. Like, I love just the pictures. I love the, look at this. I love the art. I love the choices. I just love the, if you look at my cards, when I start to post more VRs, you'll start to see what my liking is, what I like, and what I'm drawn to. And I really adore this deck. Will I read with it? Maybe. A lot of these decks, they are just for me to look at and to read myself with, and to just feed my inner child, if that makes sense. Because I love looking at the beautiful art. Like, just I can't really explain it, but look at this. See? Like, that's too cool. I'm not one for tradition and conforming, so like I said, I see a lot of people complain about, you know, decks not meeting the rider weight tradition. And and to me, I don't care, because I feel like regardless of the cards, you're going to use your intuition, or you're supposed to anyway. You know, so I like what I like. You know, so I mean, I don't know how else to explain it, but this is my little VR to the whole little pop culture deck thing. And I really appreciate Robin for doing this, because I really like doing the VRs. It helps me get to know my decks in a better way, I guess, so to speak. So yeah, but yeah, thank you for, you know, joining me and keeping me company as I do this, because I really enjoy this VR. So yeah. So I hope you guys participate and get this VR going, because I like to see what pop culture decks people have, because I can promise you, if it's anything like I've presented here, I'm probably going to get it. I mean, if I get it though, I'm gonna have to get rid of a deck because for every deck that I get, I have to, you know, remove a deck. So, but anyways, this is for the pop culture decks. So, thank you guys for coming. I really appreciate you, and I ask that you guys have a great rest of your Thursday. Peace. Probably can't see it, but peace.